Hey everybody, Seth Keeping It Real with Allan Yorazar. Hello, Allan.
Hello, guys.
Good to see everybody. Allan, what part of the world are you in right now?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia right now.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm in Austin, Texas. I know we have some people here from Egypt who are watching right now, some people from Dallas, Georgia, Morocco. Good to see you guys. And I love one of the questions what Asma said. He said, I am very excited about starting my Amazon business, my Amazon arbitrage business, and I hope today's live can help me. Asma, we will do everything we can to help you. That's what these shows are for. In a few minutes, Margaret will be with us. She generated her first $500 using arbitrage. What I love about her story, excuse me, what I love about her story is she was doing private label, and while she's waiting for the shipments and the products to be built and shipped out, she thought, you know, I got a few weeks here. Why not go generate some cash over here? So she went out, she hustled, and she began to do it. And she generated her first 500 in a very short amount of time. That is the spirit of an entrepreneur. When you guys run into a problem or an obstacle, excuse me, guys, sorry. When you run into a problem or an obstacle, the way an entrepreneur thinks is you find a way to turn that obstacle into an opportunity and to turn it into money. That is how you generate a business, is you turn opportunities into money. And that requires a mindset. It's a mindset of, here is how I'm going to make this happen. And in your mind, you decide, I'm going to turn this problem into something. So Margaret could have said, hey, I have a problem here. What am I going to do? I got to wait several weeks for the private label shipment. But instead, she went out and she hustled. She busted her butt and she went out there and she made $500. I respect that. That is the spirit of an entrepreneur. That's the kind of person who is going to succeed. And that is the kind of mentality you need, whether you're doing Amazon arbitrage, private label, wholesale, drop ship, a brand new product, e-commerce, eBay, Shopify, anything at all. Now, Margaret has had some audio issues, and we're gonna see if we can hear her or not. And if not, I'm just gonna let her chat her answers and I'll voice them. And that when we will see, we ran into an obstacle, we're gonna turn to an opportunity. So we get to live that out. I did not even plan that, Margaret. But Margaret, go ahead and say something. Let's see if we can hear you. I cannot hear you. Okay.
You need to unmute first. Let's see if you can unmute your microphone.
Oh yeah, so is your mic muted? Yep, it's muted. No, your mic is still muted. I can see it. It's muted on there. Right there in Google Hangouts. Okay, I'm gonna hop over to the chat, see what people are saying. All right, so hello from Jacksonville, hello from the UK. Hey, Hazel. Guys, Hazel was on our show, was that last week or 2 weeks ago? I can't even remember now, but I think that was last week. Yeah. Good to see you, Hazel. Hazel is another example of a hustler. She knows how to make it happen. Hazel's like this no nonsense, I'm just gonna make it happen in her British accent. And she just crushes it. Thank you, Liam. I'm really glad this information is gold. You know, we are into the business of turning people into millionaires. As shallow as that sounds, you guys know our motivation. We know money's not an end goal. Money's not gonna make anyone happy. Anyone who thinks that is really stupid or unwise, I should say that. Money is a means to an end. It gives you margin so you can do the things you love with the people you love. That's where it matters. And then it's just a tool. It's a tool you manage to help you. Okay, so let's take a question here. Hello, Khalida from California. I used to live in California. Really cool state to live in, though I like Austin better. Let's see, Tech Talk says, I am confused. Tech Talks, that's a cool YouTube channel name. I'm confused on where and what products to get. Allan, what would be your first advice to someone with that question? I'm confused on where do I find a product to sell and what product should I find?
Well, for people that live in the US or any country where they have a warehouse, an FBA warehouse, the easiest thing to do is go to any store, like for example, Walmart, and you can go and find and start scanning items maybe on the clearance section first. That's where you're gonna see, like for example, we went to Walmart yesterday to pick up a prescription, and while we were waiting, we started, we just went to the clearance section. We were scanning, and we found two. I think they're called. I don't know what they're called, but there were two things for babies, for moms to help pumps. and a regular price was 106, and they were selling it for $50 in clearance. So we found those two items, and the only reason why I didn't buy it was because the boxes they look kind of they weren't returns, but the boxes were damaged. So I decided we're not gonna buy them, because I know mothers, you know, they're when they just had a baby and they buy something like that. I think it's not gonna look very good to have to have a box coming on Amazon, and it looks damaged. So we decided not to get it. But if I buy something for $50 and I can sell it for 106, I'm making about $15 to $18 in profit. And if I can get 3-4 items like that every day at the beginning, that's a lot of profit for a few sales. So that's the best way to find the items at the beginning.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Alan. I've never seen that before. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alan and Margaret. So happy to have you here. Margaret, where are you living right now? What part of this world are you in?
I live in Smyrna, Tennessee, which is about 20 miles south of Nashville.
Okay, so you're not very far from us. I'm in Texas.
Right. Not well. It's kind of far.
When I compare to California, where I came from, then
it's closer to California. Absolutely, yeah.
I have a story about Smyrna, Tennessee, if we have time at the end.
You have what about Tennessee? I didn't hear you, Alan. What did you say?
I have a story about Smyrna, Tennessee.
Really? Okay. I like that.
Time at the end, I'll tell you the story.
Okay.
We will close with that story. Absolutely. Remind me, Margaret and Alan. We'll make that happen.
Okay.
So, Margaret, how did you do it? So, guys, again, for everyone who just joined, Margaret's doing private label.
Yes.
She has this extra time on their hands because, as you know, with private label, guys, it's not every day it just keeps ordered. There's times where you have to wait for the shipment or wait for the product to be built. Right. During that time, she thought, I'm not just going to sit here and wait and twiddle my thumbs. I'm going to go do something. I'm going to go make money.
Right.
She didn't ask permission. She just went and made it happen. That kind of mindset I love. So please tell us, how did you do it, Margaret? Take us through the step by step.
Okay, I've been a part of the group, the JOD group, since about May. We started looking at researching products, going through the process. We've been following our private label product since May and going back and forth, found one we liked, talked to suppliers in China. Once we decided on one about July, started working with them. So fast forward a month or so, we got our mold made, whatnot, and ran into some registrations that we didn't know anything about. So we had to apply for those. It was like $1,500 to start out with. So in the meantime, while our product is being made, it won't be ready till the end of October. So we decided, well, let's just get into this RA. Because I've been listening to the Thursday calls for the newbies. And I was like, you know what? As much as we shop, we need, because my husband and I both love to shop. So we love to shop.
I'm serious, we love to. You're going to get back to making money.
Yes. I mean, now looking back, we're like, we could have been doing this 2 months ago. But anyway, so we picked up a few things in Bargain Hunt, like Alan was saying, Bargain Hunt, Target, Rite Aid, Walmart, everywhere we go, we are scanning. We are scanning to see, what's available.
And
so
I just want to jump in here to make sure everyone understands. What do you mean scanning? I'm assuming you're talking about your phone, but imagine someone brand new to this. What would you tell them?
Okay. Amazon has an app. It's called It's a seller app. And you can scan products, the UPC code, and see, and they'll tell you what they're selling for in Amazon, and it'll also tell you if you're available to sell it, if it's gated or not. And what's weird about that, going to that, some things you can sell, some things you can't. Some brands are even like that. You may not be able to sell in one item of a particular brand, but you may be able to sell another item in that same brand. So just scan away to see what's available for you to sell, and you can see what the margins are based on what the price in the store is. So I made a little timeline of kind of how this first week went for us, or the first sales went. We sent our first products on September the 4th. We sent 47 products, but 21 unique products, because we had multiples of some items. They were received on the 8th, later that week. So that was like going into a weekend, and I could see the products, but I couldn't see them being like active or whatever. So I finally called Seller Central, and they told us I needed to send in driver's license and our business checking account information, which I did right then, scanned it and sent it in. And within just a few minutes, everything was live. You know, pretty much everything was live. Literally that day, we made a sale. Literally that first day, something was sold that we purchased. Actually, we paid $2 for a product and it sold for $42. Literally. I mean, it was crazy. And well, the funny thing about it is we didn't realize it had sold until Wednesday. It kept saying we had made this money, but I couldn't see it. Well, what happened was they were moving the products around. Amazon would move, even though they tell you to send it to one place, sometimes they'll shift it to other warehouses once they get it where you told them to send it. So the person paid for it, but it was like on hold or in transit, so they couldn't actually ship it. So it didn't show up. I had to change my settings to be able to see that. So anyway, so literally that week, it was just a whirlwind. Absolutely. Every day we sold something. Every day that week we sold something. And finally I put the post on our group because it was just, I was blown away. You know, I said, this process really works. You know, I mean, I did exactly what the coaches have been telling us to do, you know, in looking for products and, you know, realizing there's going to be costs for Amazon and costs for shipping and all that. But it's just, it works. It really works. So
compared to starting a traditional business, unbelievably easier than going out, renting out retail space, and having to build a building, hire employees, get your inventory, get your approvals, all that stuff. You just simply started buying stuff, got approval,
that's
did
it.
everything Amazon asked you, and sold it. Now, buying something for $2 and selling it for $42, those aren't bad profit margins. Those are pretty good.
Oh.
I have a question though, Margaret. I'm dying to know. How did you know you were going to make a profit? What did you do? Because what if you bought something and it only will sell for the price that you bought it for? How did you know there would be an arbitrage, a difference?
Well, I mean, when I scanned it and it said that it was I looked at the BSR, or the bestseller rank for, you know, people that may not understand. Amazon ranks everything. And actually a few of the things I bought before I knew what BSR to kind of look for. And that changes depending on what category you're in. And some stuff was just like, I'm just going to buy it because it's just too good. It's $2. I'm just going to buy it anyway. Because my husband actually looked at me. I'll tell you, it was a filter, a type of filter. And it's for something that they no longer make. So he was like, why would anybody buy that? You know, and he really didn't tell me he was thinking that until after we made $42 on it, or after he sold for $42. And I said, this is selling for $42. And he was thinking, why would somebody buy that? And I'm like, but it's $2. And we bought two. Well, we bought everything they had, which was only two. But believe me, we went back to those sister stores and was scouring, looking for more.
Yep.
So I think what happened in that situation is, I think Amazon has a thing where if they're out of stock on something, you can have them email you when it comes back in because it's sold the same day. So they must have notified the seller that it's back in stock now, you can buy it. So now that gives me the idea to think, look, even if it says they don't have this product in stock, that might be something to look for, you know, when you're scanning. Oh, well, they don't have any in stock, but it sells for $30. Okay, buy it. That might be, you know, a gold mine.
Right. The supply is down. The supply is way down. So when you offer yours, boom, immediately someone wants it because that's all they can get. And people will pay a lot more for something when there's a scarcity. That's really good.
Right.
I like too what you said. And I have this very strong antenna for an entrepreneur spirit. You said some of the stuff, you didn't even look at the BSR. And for those of you who may not know what she's saying, BSR is best sellers ranking. Every product gets a number, and the lower the number is, the faster it's selling every day on Amazon. And that BSR goes like this every day. Just so everyone knows, it's not a static number. But overall, if you see it has a good low number, chances are it's going to sell quickly. Well, before she even knew about BSR, she bought some stuff.
Yeah.
Why would she do that? I'll tell you why. She had a hunch. She had an instinct. Wait a minute, selling for $2? Amazon, I'm going to get this now. I'm not going to overanalyze. I'm going to make it happen. You need to plan out, guys. You need to know your numbers ahead of time. Yes. But if you get too analytical and don't also employ your instincts to hustle and make it happen, this part will get you mentally constipated and you won't get anywhere. You got to keep moving. You're going to take risk, and you're going to buy some products that aren't going to sell. That's part of the process.
And I think that I wouldn't try that so much if it was a really expensive item.
Right, because
because they were, $2, $3, it was worth the risk. I mean, if it don't sell, I've lost nothing, really. But if it sells, hey, look what I have to gain. So.
Exactly. So let me ask you this: from this process, you generated about $500,000 in a short amount of time. While you're waiting for your other private label business to get going,
right?
What has this taught you? Like moving forward, what is your mindset? Okay, here's what me and my husband are going to do. Here's how we're going to approach this. What are your thoughts on that? Now that you've actually tasted this, you're like, man, if I can do this for $500, I can do it for $5,000. I can do it for $5 million. Really quick, yes. Allan, how much did you do last month? If you don't mind sharing, I'm putting you totally on the spot, brother. But I know you posted something. It was really good.
Total sales. Total sales, I did about 12,000.
Okay.
Wow.
You guys hear that?
Wow.
And how long have you been doing this, Allan? How long have you been doing this?
14 months so far.
14 months. Do you know of any company who will pay you that much after 14 months? Hey, by the way, every month we're going to give you a $3,000 raise. They're not going to do that. What job will pay you that much a month? That's insane. Even if your profit margins are 30% of that, that's still incredible. But back to you, Margaret. From here on, moving forward, what are you and your husband going to do?
Well, we're going to step. For one, we have been shopping every day. When I get off work, when he gets off work, we have eaten out every day this week because we go into the stores trying to find more, and then, but I really kind of want to focus now on, or kind of look into online. I haven't really looked into that. So I kind of want to start digging there because I want to take it to another level because I see this works. It really, really works between Allan and Saad. And, I see what they do. If they can do it, I can do it. Yep. I know that. So that's just going to only help us going forward with our private label because it's going to fund that. We want to introduce other products. And I'll tell you something else. One of the products that I picked up for this is actually, it sold so well that we are considering doing that as our next private label product.
Brilliant.
I mean,
my wife and I,
we couldn't believe it. And it's not even a good product. It's not even that, to me, the quality of it was not as good as it could be. So now that's pushing us into, okay, this is going to be the next one right here. But we're going to make it better. Absolutely. And we're going to add something to it, but it just showed us it sells. It really does sell. And it had a high BSR.
This is a reason Just One Dime teaches both private label and arbitrage. 2 different courses, 2 different things. Each other. I want to share a really quick story with you guys. I think you'll appreciate. So now this is not a clothing item. That story you guys heard, that's another item, and it's still selling. My wife and I found a closeout sale online for a store. It was like a fashion type store. And a lot of these were a kitchen item, something that would fit with fashion. It was fashionable, but technically would go in the kitchen category. So we bought multiples of this. We sent them all into Amazon just to see which one would sell, because the best product research you can do is sending something into Amazon, running an ad, finding out what the ad campaign is saying is ranking, then using that to find out what people are searching for that no one is selling. Are you guys tired for your private labels out there? Are you sick and tired of saying, man, I found something on Jungle Scout. It's selling like crazy. And you go buy it, and 3 months later, when you finally get sent to Amazon, there's 14,000 other sellers selling the same thing. Or there's a way you can get ahead of that. You find a product. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a battery pack for all I care. You get just a few of them. You send it in. You create an ad campaign. And the ad campaign will start hunting for search keywords. And this doesn't mean it's a product you're going to sell. This is just like a placeholder. It's all a test. This is a test. And what happens is when you read the ad campaign, it's going to show you what keywords people are searching for that there's no product for. There are people every day who sit down at their computer, and they type in a product they're looking for on Amazon, and nothing comes up that is relevant to what they're looking for. might be somewhat relevant, but not the same product. That is a gold mine. Guess what? You can't find that on Jungle Scout. You can't even find it on Amazon. Don't get me wrong. I love research tools. They're awesome, especially Amazon is amazing. But you can't find that information using a tool. This is information no one else is using. And then you go and source that. You get first to market. And what happens? You get the biggest market share. So this is a side tip. But back to my story. So we found multiple kitchen items. We sent them in. Several of them just sat there and did nothing. They just sat there. Others started doing something. And then we ran an ad campaign and started finding out what's working. One of them did really well. We tweaked it. We changed it. We came up with our own design. We found a supplier for this product. We had never talked to a supplier who used this kind of material before, so it took a while. We found someone to do it for us. The first shipment we made no money on. We just sold them to get the listing ranking. We made our money back, but we didn't make, it was like, I don't know, 10 cents profit. We ran an ad campaign, so now we had tons of knowledge and a listing. Then we went back and got more. And this time it was several thousand of these. It shipped by sea. It took 4 weeks to get here. We went through all the customs process. It was a pain in the butt. But today, every single day, it sells over and over and over again. And just this morning, my executive assistant chatted me, hey, we have this many left in inventory. Just letting me know, okay, boom, we have some in our warehouse, send them in. Just think about that, guys. That's exactly what Margaret's thinking. She found something doing arbitrage. She's going to take it and own it and tweak it and make it her own. And now what happens? She has a corner on that market. She can advertise it. She can run ad campaigns. She can improve it. That's how you make money. This product I'm talking about, and there's no freaking way I'm going to tell anyone what it is, it keeps making us money every day. I get up this morning, aha, look at that. There's more money in our account. And I'm doing nothing. I'm talking to you right now. I'm not working on it. I'm having fun. But I'm making money. You guys, this thing works. Okay, I'm a little hyped up this morning. I'm going to share one more thing, okay? And Margaret, you take over from here. She's going to lead the rest of the show. She's got lots of cool stuff to share with you. I hear a lot of people saying Amazon's saturated. BS, it is not saturated. If that was true, how the heck did Margaret do what she just did? Thousands the last month. That doesn't make sense, you guys. People who say that are, number one, either misinformed, or number two, they're giving up. Because they scanned 14 items and said, it's gated, I give up, it doesn't work. No, scan 14,000 items, then come back and say, okay, I'm ready. You see, you have to have a mindset. You're going to make it happen, and you're going to fail 1,000 times to get to that point. It works, and this is why people are making money and succeeding on this, not only an arbitrage program, but a private label program. I'm about to interview someone in a couple weeks. He did over $16,000 his first month, total revenue, over 50% profit. He never sold on Amazon before. His first freaking month, he did over $16,000. He posted a screenshot of his seller app in our program. We will show it to you. Guys, it works if you have the knowledge and you have the grit. So get out there, kick your ass, use the knowledge you have, and go make it happen. That's why I absolutely respect and revere Allan and Margaret. They didn't just sit there and wait. They did something. I love this part, Margaret. You said, oh yeah, we were going to sell it, and then Amazon says, we need your ID. Did she complain? Did she freak out? Oh no, the world is falling. No, she said, sure, here you go. Boom, she got a sale. Bam. I just love it.
I wanted to tell you, you were talking about you asleep, or when your assistant told you. I was on vacation from Thursday to Monday. Every day I woke up in Tampa with sales. And I'm my husband, I'm like, we made another sale. We made some more sales. I'm like, can you believe this? I said, it works. I love this, going to sleep and waking up. And I made sales. I made money.
Right.
While I was gone. It was awesome. So it just motivates me even more.
And that gives you the freedom. I know a few weeks ago, Allan was able to go visit family in Los Angeles. So I goes back and forth to Kuwait and Canada. We went to New York City. I went to Seattle. I'm going to China next month. Like, the freedom it gives you to live wherever you want and keep working on your business is amazing. I'm not having to drive through Austin. Can you believe I said that? Austin traffic, not LA.
Nashville.
Austin traffic every morning. Oh shoot, I'm going to be 10 minutes late, and my boss is going to give me that look. No fear about that. I get up when I want to get up. I get up and I hustle, and then I go take my wife on a date. Guys, it doesn't get better than that. Now, please don't feel like, oh, we've arrived, we're special. No. I am a regular person who struggles with his own shit, has to deal with his own issues, his own hang-ups. I'm sorry for my language. I have to deal with all that. But people, quit complaining. If you're not succeeding, go bust your ass and make something happen. Quit complaining. Sorry, I'm just on a roll, man, because sometimes I hear people complaining like, oh, the world is falling and the sky is falling. And no, look at Margaret. She didn't even take a freaking course on this. She just listened. She took what she had. She learned. $500. She and her husband deserve to turn that into $1 million. Why? Because they worked for it. And that is the kind of attitude that makes you succeed. And I love that. I'm going to take some questions. Go ahead, Margaret.
And we're going to make it $1 million.
That's right. That's the mindset. You have what's called a millionaire mindset. Okay, I'm going to respond to some chats here, guys. Hazel says, Seth, are you tired today? No. Oh, because I'm sitting down. Yes, I am sitting down. I'll stand up for you. I'll run. There we go. Okay, I'm not tired. I had a meeting right before this, so I thought it was convenient. So, but Shalom says, what can you tell us about third-party companies that monitor your product being hijacked? I've never run into this. A third-party company monitoring your product being hijacked. This is something I can speak to as well, but I wanted to give you the first shot.
For me, right?
Yes.
You're breaking up. Yeah, basically what they do is they have automatic automated scripts that get your acing, and then they check on the Amazon website or your acing continuously, maybe once a day or twice a day, and see how many sellers how many sellers are on that listing. As soon as somebody jumps on your listing, they will send you an email or give you a notification. That way you can take the next steps. If it's your private label, you can send a cease and desist letter, or you can do something to make sure that people that is not authorized to sell your product get out of your listing. But with the same token, if you buy a product that you're not authorized to sell, the owner of that product is going to get a notification as well, and they might send you a letter saying, you cannot sell this product. So I think it's a very good way to automate your business, because it's easy to do it when you have 1 or 2 listings, but when you have 25 or 50, or if you're doing big volumes, you can have more than 50 listings. It takes time to start checking that every day or a couple times a day. So I like the way they automate that process for you.
Excellent. And if it's private label, guys, you can submit an infringement report. The easiest and fastest way is you order one of those items, you take a picture of it, you submit an infringement report, you include the picture as an attachment, so you can prove to Amazon they're selling a knockoff or counterfeit of what you're selling. However, Shalom, if they're selling the exact same product you are, it's like arbitrage. There's nothing you can do. There has to be something unique. You have to have a unique, what's an example around here? Okay, check this out. A book is not a good example, but see this design right here? There's a copyright to that design. If you registered the copyright and you submit the number that shows you registered, Amazon will kick their butt off the listing and you're good to go. But if it's arbitrage, nothing you can do about it. I am very excited to say that Just One Dime is creating, can I say this, Allan?
Sure.
Okay. Just One Dime is creating an incredible software that will do all of that for you, which we're very excited about. I'll stop right there. Okay, let's take some questions. Dawn says, Seth, explain the basic concept for arbitrage to all beginners. Absolutely. In fact, Margaret, will you do that for us? What is the
basic concept? Is just go shopping, look for products that, when you have to use the app, you definitely have to use the Amazon app to do it. But just scan it, kind of go with your gut too. Just, I don't want to say common sense, because some items that you look at, you do kind of want to have a personal, just throw all that out. Just because you may not like the product or may not be useful to you, somebody needs that. Somebody needs what, they made it for a reason. So scan it. Look at your margins on it. You got to realize that. And when you do scan the app, if you click on the item, it'll tell you how much the fees are, all of that. So you can say, is it worth it? Do I want to make $2? Or, you set in your mind amount that you want to make off of a product, or what you think. I don't know how to exactly explain that, but we're kind of looking at, we want to make at least $5 off an item, if you will, but $2 or $3 could be fine just to get started, just to get your feet wet. If you don't have a lot of money to spend, there are a lot of items that are very cheap that you can make $2 or $3 off of, and it adds up. And that's what I think about what you said about the dime. it doesn't take a whole lot. You don't have to make $40 off of a product. It can be $2. If you're making $2 after all the fees times 10 times 10 times 10, you're making a lot of money.
Amen.
So,
and once you set it in, it's like this. You don't have to do anything. It's there.
You don't have to create the listing. You don't have to do anything. That's what I like about this too. You don't have to put all that thought into it. You just scan it. You piggyback on a listing that's there, and amazingly, you may get the buy box.
Yep.
Which is great too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Really good question, Dawn. Thank you, Margaret. That's super helpful. The Red Palapas says, how do you keep track of what is going on Amazon and how much you're making? Two really good questions. I was asked this exact question, Margaret and Allan, at the conference in Seattle. Someone asked me, how do you keep track of it? And I stopped and I thought for a minute. I said, give me a second. And that was not the profit one, but how do you keep track of what's going on with Amazon? And I said, that is such a great question. If someone has a better solution than mine, please tell me, but I will tell you how I do. Number one, through networking, through talking to people who are selling on Amazon. Amazon will make changes and they don't announce them. Here's a big one. You've been applying and waiting and waiting and waiting to get approved so your brand is gated so no one else can hijack your listing. And all of a sudden one day you go in and it's open. They didn't tell you, they didn't announce it. This stuff happens all the time. Or all of a sudden health and beauty is ungated. They don't announce it and boom, it just happens. So by networking, talking to other people and then just doing it myself. That's it. By doing it and by talking to people. I will say, Red Palapa, if you are not on the Just One Dime team, you become part of a member of close to now 1,000 people who are adamant and tense about selling on Amazon and teaching each other how to do it. You will get more information than you ever dreamed of, not to mention 8 coaches who own multiple businesses. Paul says, oh, the other question is, okay, how do you find out how much you're making? Allan, you want to take this one? How do you know how much money you're making on Amazon? It's a great question.
Well, first of all, you have a back office when you have a seller's account that will tell you, how many sales you're making, and every day you can keep track of all your sales that way. And then you can use third-party software that will kind of combine all the sales that you have, plus you can add your cost, you can add all your expenses, and then it will give you a more accurate picture of what how much money you're actually making. And there's third-party software systems that give you that. For example, Inventory Lab will give you that information, and there's other softwares that are coming out in the market that will give you all that information.
There's something called Just One Dime Toolbox, and if you just simply put the cost and the shipping, boom, you know exactly what you're making on that product, and all the fees are already calculated for you. There also is a tool, it's a spreadsheet. I created it years ago now. People continue to download it. It's called the eBay Amazon Profit Calculator. It works for both. And all you do is you just plug in the numbers, and it'll automatically tell you what your profit is. Your profit margin is simply the expenses that includes the Amazon fees, the cost for building the product if you're private label, and the cost for shipping it, divided by what you are selling it for. That is a dot something something, move the dot over 2 times, turn that into a percentage. That's your profit margin percentage. But this profit calculator will do it for you. We also provide this training 100% step-by-step video, sharing our screen in our training program as well. Paul, you're totally right. The more you make, the more you can give. That's not shallow. That's awesome. 100% agreed.
Yes.
I will never forget the day my wife and I were driving over a hill. It was a Sunday morning. We're on our way to church, and we're driving, and I'm looking over at her, and we're like, you know what? We were broke. I'm tired of not being able to help people. We are going to build wealth, and then we can give back. Because I'll never forget the day when people would just show up randomly and say, yeah, we can tell you guys are hurting. Here you go, and they hand us a check. And it meant the world to me. And I took that to heart. But finally I decided, you know what? I want to start become the person who can give, who can help. I don't want to just be the person who's always broke. And I'm not saying it's wrong to be broke. But why not fight to build wealth? Then you can give back, and your life is full. You're successful on the inside, but you're also successful on the outside, and it's the result of what's going on the inside. That's true wealth, in my opinion.
Right.
Okay, the next question, Ashvin, please tell me about Seller Central Amazon, how to work with it. Ashvin, that is a big question. We would need to share a screen. Then you would see all the products we're selling. I'm not going to show this to the world. We teach you how to do this in our program. We can show you how to do it in a program. I don't want to make this an ad about it, but that's the bloody truth is you got to get that training, join the team. We'll show you that and everything, step by step. Alvin, Paul, Martin, go ahead, Margaret.
No, I was just going to say that's another reason why we started doing the arbitrage, because Seller Central was foreign to us, and we said, well, let's get a few items and throw them out there and just see, that way we can understand, what it looks like when you have a product, when you need to add inventory, to get familiar with it. So when we get our private label, it won't be so foreign to us, and it's really helped. We've had a lot of bumps in there too, but it's got a lot of information that's helpful. So it's a good thing. If you're going to do private label eventually, or even just doing the arbitrage, it's great to get familiar with it once you have products out there.
It's a really, really good point. I'm finding people are really successful who start with arbitrage, then they move to private label, because then you know the system, you understand it. You also have a good history, and if you have good feedback, you get opened up for more categories that are otherwise close to you doing private label. That's really good. Very good advice. Alvin, Paul, Martinez, Margaret, and Alan, I'm going to ask you guys both this question. What are the best apps, in your opinion, for doing arbitrage? What do you guys think? Just Margaret, you start, and then Alan, what would you add to that?
Well, I mean, I use the Amazon app, but I also use the seller, the inventory labs. They have a Scoutify.
Scoutify, yeah.
Scoutify. I use that one too.
Yep.
Yeah, I use both. Mm-hmm.
Nice. What about you, Alan?
Yeah, for when you're outside on the retail stores, we use the Amazon Seller app. Sometimes when you can find information, for example, the bestseller rank, sometimes the Amazon Seller app won't show it to you. So we jump to Spotify, and lately we've been using an app called Scan Genie that you can set up everything on the website. For each category, you can set up the maximum rank you're willing to go for, and your profit, the profit that you want to make, or the ROI. And then when you're outside scanning items, you scan an item, it will give you a red and will say it doesn't meet your requirements. And if you find something that it meets all your requirements, it gives you a green. So it's a lot easier. You don't have to be kind of calculating on your mind. Does it have profit for me? Does it have a good rank? So it just gives you a green. And then if it gives you a green, you just buy it.
Yep. Very good. Thank you, Alan. Patty says, hey guys, I need help. I used to buy clothing wholesale and have a lot of merchandise left. How can I list them to sell? It's clothing and accessories. I hear it's tough to sell. How do we get rid of them? Patty, totally understand where you're coming from. My wife and I sell clothing. She used to do wholesale all the time. Let me go back. Arbitrage all the time. We would go into these stores, find it on a discount, buy as much as we can, sell it on eBay, sell it on Instagram, and then we started doing it on Amazon, and that's when we started with our own fashion brand. Clothing is not easy. It is hard because it's extremely brand loyal. So Patty, I'm assuming when you buy clothing wholesale that you're buying brands. And if you buy those brands, the first question is the brand gated on Amazon? If you're trying to sell on Amazon, you got to find that out. And the easiest way to do it is if you scan the code, the little tag, it'll pull up on the seller app, the Amazon seller app. It'll tell you whether or not you can sell it because you're already logged into your Seller Central account. If that brand is gated, I wouldn't just wait. You need to sell other stuff on Amazon. Over time, Amazon may allow you to apply to get gated for the brand. Sometimes you have to pay up to a $1,500 fee plus an application. Other times you don't. It depends on the brand, and it will change. A week from now, there could be 5 more brands gated, and the next week could be 3 ungated. So you have to be willing to go with the flow. eBay is much easier to list brands on. What they will typically do is if you are using stock photos that are directly from the company's website, they might snag you and pull down the listing. So if I were you, I would be very careful with this. eBay is easier from this perspective. It's, in my opinion, it is harder to get your account. I'm trying to remember what they can call it. It's been such a long time since mine was suspended. Suspended. I think it's a different term in eBay. I know Amazon's, I forget now. Just so you guys know, I've had my Amazon account suspended. One of them I did it on purpose just to see if I could get it back again. And I did within a few days, which I'm very proud about. And eBay, I did it not intentionally, but because I was really pushing something. And I'll go into that story later. But anyways, we're back on eBay as well. But I would start with eBay. List it. They're less restrictive. The chances are they could come back and flag it. List it on there and sell it. If you have to drop the price to where at least you make your money back, that's fine. The other idea, Patty, is ask this question. Are you trying to build a fashion business? This is what my wife did organically. Tons of followers on Instagram just by networking. Didn't ever pay a single dollar for a single ad when she did this. And now she has this huge following. And when she lists something, boom, it's gone. So if this is something you want to pursue long-term, I would build up your own presence on Instagram. And if you're buying from stores, they're going to know you as the deal picker. You find these amazing, like here's a Coach purse, or here's a LuLaRoe item. I know there's rules there, but I'll be open with you. You know, here's trying to think, Forever 21, and you get all these different brands and you list them, and no one else can beat that price. But these are all one-offs, so the income is not very passive. That's why she's not doing Amazon as well. I hope that's helpful, Patty. Let us know if we can help any more with that. Okay, sell as bulk lot on Mercari. Yep, absolutely, Red Papa. Okay, where says Red Palapa, can I get a barcode or something that I can find on Amazon, but I want to sell on Amazon? Is there a great website for that, or do I call Amazon? So Red Palapa, if you are selling your own private label item, you need to get your own UPC code. The safest way to go is GS1 barcode. Google it, GS1 barcode. Buy it, it's worth it. It's an investment. It might cost you a few hundred for a single UPC code, but let me tell you, once you get it going, you will make the money back. If you're doing arbitrage, like Margaret is talking about, like Allan is talking about, you don't have to worry about it. There's already barcode on the item. You list it on a listing that's already on Amazon. You go and search for it. You say sell mine or sell yours. You click it, and you don't have to do it. You don't have to add photos. You just simply, boom, it's done. You send it in, and you wait. That's the nice thing about arbitrage, is to get in is much easier. That bar is much lower, which is exactly what Margaret's doing with her time. All right, we'll keep going. Good morning, fishing veteran. Let's see. Okay, inside the bind. Amazon has just raised the fees for books, standard size media, close to 50% of your profit. Well, inside the bind, that depends on how much you're selling it for. If you're selling the book for 50 bucks, there's no way they're raising the fees to $25. What would be a good product to switch to instead of books? Allan, what would you say? I find books were great when I had them and I sold them, and sometimes going to half-price books works, but it's not my favorite thing to sell. What would you recommend? If someone's saying, Allan, I'm done with books, tell me what category to go to, what would you recommend, brother?
If they have been selling on Amazon, it might be a lot easier for them to get ungated for certain categories. My niche, and everybody knows, you know, that has taken the training. My niche is shoes and clothing. I sell hundreds of shoes and clothing every month, and I kind of I started trying to sell everything. If it's a brand new person, the best categories are toys, kitchen, and home and kitchen, stuff like that. But you kind of have as you're scanning and you're finding items, you're gonna find niches that are good for you. And but in my case, and for somebody that is already been selling on Amazon, shoes and clothing is a good category. It's easy to get in, and there's a lot of profit in there. Yeah,
very good. Alejandro Hernandez, do you have to ask the store for permission to scan items? I think I know the answer to your question. I'm asking you, Margaret. How do you do it? You go in and say, "Hello, manager. May I have your permission to scan?"
No. I just go start scanning. But I am aware. I do try to watch for, in bargain hunt, it's
like going out. You're like this.
But
good.
the thing about it, people are always on their phone anyway, so they don't know if you're, they don't know what you're doing. So, you can scan real easy, but nobody cares. Nobody's ever approached us and said, "What are you doing? Why are you scanning?" They don't care.
Well,
even it's hard, nobody cares.
As soon as someone walks by, if you're on an iPhone, you just hit this double button right here twice, and then you can just quickly, "Oh yeah, I'm texting my friend. How's it going?" And the manager walks by.
Right. Nobody cares. They don't. I don't do it in, just in their face.
Hey, honey, we found a good one to sell on Amazon.
Right. Exactly. Right. But it's really easy. It's really easy, especially because everybody has a phone and everybody's on it all the time. Yeah, so they're not paying attention to us. So
that's really cool. We need to make some kind of meme for people, Amazon people, like they're scanning like crazy. You go into the stores. And Alejandro, that's the fun part. Now, there are situations, Hazel shared this last week, where people might say, "Oh, you're scanning, so see you," right? They like basically say you can't do it. Or in this case, I think hers actually was the opposite. Remind me, Hazel, you ordered online and they stopped the order. I think it was Toys R Us or something like that. Have you guys heard the latest about Toys R Us, by the way? Interesting story, opportunities. And then
we'll do that.
What?
Target will do that. They don't like it either retail or online.
Okay. You know what you should do is wear a red shirt so they think you're going to put a little name tag. It says Amazon seller.
What's funny about Target too, I noticed I found some things that were on clearance there, but when you go online, it was regular price. So you can't, a lot of times you can't go online to get the same product that's on clearance, and each store may be a little different also. So the prices. So
gotcha. No, that's a really good point. I know what Saad recommended Hazel do. I thought this was brilliant. If they reject the order online, go in person late at night when there's some unlikely that a floor manager's there, someone's sitting there working, they don't care, and just buy all the stuff. But yeah, guys, I would rather ask forgiveness than permission in a lot of situations. This is one of them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. What about those who are living outside of the U.S.? I guess the process will be a little different for us. I mean, online arbitrage and prep centers that we need to get the process to work. Asma, I encourage you to watch a week ago at the same time, we interviewed Hazel. Hazel is a badass at arbitrage in the UK. She's making it happen. Now, if you're referring to selling in a different country than where you live, yes, absolutely, you need to get a prep center. We have 72 of those that we recommend. And I will say this, check out our training. We show you how to do that. It is more difficult. There's more upfront work, but you can still make it happen. And that income starts to come in. We'll show you to de-risk you as much as possible. Let's see. After Martin, have you sourced a product from a manufacturer in the US? I have. For private label, yes. Where it's become profitable, absolutely. There must be a product in the US that can be sourced for private without having to source from Asia. There absolutely is, Aether. The number one challenge is this. It's going to cost a lot more. I did this for months. Then, check this out. On our team, we have a couple. They're exclusive for just $1, which I'm very proud to say. They will, if they can, find the actual factory that makes the product so you can source directly from them and cut out the middleman. That's exactly what I did, and our profits went up. And now we get them from Asia instead of the US. US has advantages, absolutely, but it cut our profit, our margin, it cut our costs down so much, it was 100% worth it, and the money went up. Is there a video for beginners, first steps in arbitrage selling? Yes, Veronica, we created one 3 weeks ago, or is it a week and a half ago, Alan? Last Tuesday?
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago? Okay, if you go to the channel here, we have a whole video on that. And then if you want to go deeper, join our program. We'll help you.
And we have a link that we can share with everybody. We have a link that we can share with everybody.
Okay, perfect. Can you grab that, Alan?
Yeah, I'll post it.
Thank you, brother. How do you get ungated and restricted categories? Number one answer is to start selling in categories that are not gated. Once you have a healthy account, apply for it. Try to sell it. It'll say you have to apply. Click the yellow button and apply. Give them everything they want. We also have training videos on this. We show you how to do it. There's so many awesome questions, and I feel bad, guys, but I'm going to honor Margaret's time because Margaret took this time off, and thank you so much. Margaret, I want to honor your time. What are any last comments, advice, encouragement, anything you want to share with the 82 people watching right now who are thinking about doing arbitrage?
Okay, just do it. Just do it. Just jump in. Just go start scanning and just try it. Just try it. I mean, follow the steps. I mean, you have free videos out there that are available. Just listen to the videos, but don't overthink it. I think that's what happens. A lot of people are overthinking,
Amen.
You know, this, it's got to be perfect. It doesn't. Just follow the plan, throw some stuff out there. You will be amazed at what happens.
Yep, absolutely. And guys, some of the best information you're going to get is after you try something, you run the obstacle, then you come back for information and help.
Yes. Yes.
And that's why you guys, if you aren't doing it yet, you need to get Alan and Saad as your coaches. So they're teaching you. Every week they do a live Q&A. So you can, when you run into the store, you run into a problem, you come back, you ask the question, or you go into the mastermind community, you ask the question. They will help you with that. Not to mention over 50 hours of training videos and tons more that we can offer. Okay, everyone, really good questions. Margaret, thank you so much for being here. Everyone, thank you for your patience. I know it took us a while to get started. Thank you for your patience. I hope this continues to be helpful for you guys. Hey, if you're not in our program, I hope you join. But either way, whether you do or not, keep on going. I want to hear a year from now how you crushed it out there and how Alan and Margaret, myself, and others were able to help you get there. That makes my day. When I get an email from someone, hey, Seth, I've been watching your videos. I'm now at 6,000 a month. I fall out of my chair like, yes! Like, that's amazing, and I love that. And Margaret, thank you for being an example and encouragement to other people. by doing this. Oh, yes, we have a story about Tennessee. Alan?
That's right. Okay, so about a month ago, I went up to Kentucky. Kentucky to a mastermind that I took. And on our way back, we're driving back through Nashville, and we stopped to have breakfast or the early lunch. And I posted a picture on the group because we were eating with my wife, and there was 4 people on across the street, across the line on another table, and they were just everybody with a computer and talking to each other and checking their computer and sharing things on the computer. I was like, I wonder if they're doing Amazon or something. So we started paying attention to them, and they were talking about Amazon, and they were analyzing products. So I'm very shy, but I got courage, and I asked one of them, is it okay if I can take a picture with you? And she was like, what for? And I was, I'm sorry, I noticed you guys are selling in Amazon, and I do coaching and for Amazon retail arbitrage, and I'm just very excited to see other people working on Sunday, working on their business and doing on a coffee shop, just working together. So, and they were like, oh my God, we don't know anything about Amazon. We just heard about Amazon, and we got together and we're trying to figure out what to do. So I end up spending like about 35 minutes with them, and I kind of gave them the basics and do this and do that, and I shared with them a few tools, and I shared just one dime and everything, and we just left, and I posted that picture on the group because I was very excited, to see other people working. So I got a text yesterday on my Facebook. See, this lady, she had me down and sent me a message, and I sent it to you. I don't know if you want to share it but it says, my friends and I met with you recently at a Panera restaurant in Smyrna, Tennessee. I didn't even know where it was.
From my house. Wow. We were literally 2 miles from my house. If you were at the Panera off of Sam Ridley.
Yeah, so I didn't know where it was, but then yesterday, I learned that it was Smyrna, Tennessee. We were grateful to have met you and your advice, and it was very helpful. I gave it a start. It gave us a great start to FBA. It was your tips that took us to the next level of having the tools to succeed. We're still new to this, but I've been able to get some items listed, and about 2 small items already sold. So
wow,
this is a good feeling. And I was, so she had me down to let me know, whatever you teach us, it worked. And now she's selling on Amazon. And so as soon as you said Smyrna, Tennessee, I was like, oh, I have a story about that. But, this is an incredible opportunity that we have to, start a business and just, start a business and start selling.
Absolutely.
So that's my story.
Awesome. We have several warehouses in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Margaret, thank you so much for being here. Alan, thank you too. Everyone, I encourage you to keep going. Don't give up. Do what Margaret said. Just do it. Get out there and start. It's better to start and do something with a little bit of tiny knowledge, then learn as you go, than to collect all the knowledge you need and have all your plan ready and then start. Because guess what? There's always going to be something else you need to know, and you'll never start. Just start and expect obstacles. Look at those as opportunities. Margaret ran into about 10, she mentioned, and yet to her they weren't obstacles because her perspective was, I'm going to turn this into something of value. I guarantee you 5-10 years down the road, Margaret's kids, Margaret's grandkids, Margaret's great-grandkids are going to rise up and bless her for what she did, the legacy she built. I will never forget the day when we were broke and our parents sent us a $1,000-some check, and I was just going, whoa. And I thought, man, they made decisions way back, really wise decisions for me to be blessed by this. This is after they died. It was part of their inheritance. I forget, they called it something different, but where they distribute money to their grandkids. And they have over 100 grandkids, over 100. And it was like well over $1,000. That's a lot of money, guys. Think about it. They made decisions a long time ago, and that blessed me. You know what that did? It encouraged me to go do something. Think about the legacy you guys can bring. This is not about Amazon. Amazon can come and go. It's about you and what you're going to do for those you love. You guys have an awesome day. Thank you so much, Margaret and Allan. You guys take care.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.